So I have been on over 400 sales calls with realtors, brokers, and teams from around the world. I work with some of the best brokers in the world, including the REMAX number one broker worldwide, REMAX number one commercial broker in Canada, REMAX number one residential broker in Canada, and several others. In this video, I'm going to put together all the insights and some brutally honest truths to give you some insights that might help you grow your business. And for context, I'm not a coach, I'm not selling a program. I run a small branding and website development agency focused on real estate, and that is the only reason why I talk to so many realtors. That being said, let's get started. And the first and the number one most obvious thing that I'm sure you heard 1,000 times already is the distinction or your story. The issue is most realtors are exactly the same when it comes to their profile, or at least what they say on their website and online profiles. I provide the best service, I am professional, I'm really good with numbers. Most of them are not, I can prove you that. But that's their story. I think in 2025 that does not work because every other agent in your city says exactly the same thing. So try to dig out a story, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to people close to you and see what they say about you. Or go the different way, which is the professional way of your experience before you came into real estate. So for example, we just had a client has a 12-year experience in HVAC. I asked them about what is he going to do different in real estate, and he couldn't really give me any solid point. But then when I said, hey, what are some of the issues homeowners face when it comes to HVAC? And then he went on for 15 minutes, and I used some of that material to build a very good persona for him. And also, this becomes part of your brand for the future, where you can create content based on these things that you have experience with. Same thing happened to another client of mine that switched from Home Depot, and he was really good at automation. And he talked about automation a lot. And then we're like, hey, why don't you dive deeper into this and see how you can help homeowners with these different issues that they have? Again, becomes a part of your story. So dig down, pull out a story that you can talk about for a long time. It could even be your hobbies. There are some clients of mine that can talk about cars for a long time. But when you go on their social media, it's just a polished, positive post about everything in their products. I don't think this works in 2025, especially if you want to grow organically. The second point is a kind of controversial one, but I'd say be a nice human being. And this is one of the biggest differentiator between people who are not doing deals or doing few deals compared to people who are at the top 0.01% and doing lots of deals is the way they treat others. They're just gentle when they talk, and you want to hear what they have to say compared to some of the other guys. Obviously, either they're new or they come from a different industry or different background, but it's too much rah, rah, rah type personalities. And I promise you, some of these guys, the way they've treated me or, some of their sports staff is not the same as they will treat a potential buyer or seller. So it's like a fake persona. I would say just in genuine, try to be a nice human being, and it comes across like other people can feel your aura or your personality or your honesty. So the point number 3 is most realtors don't understand branding or marketing, and that sort of becomes a very big problem, especially when they want to grow out of the traditional referral system, which is great to get you some business. But if you want to talk to people that have never heard about you, it's a very different, playing field. You need to have a good branding, good logos and assets. You need to have a good website that you can send people to and have a unique story, have something that has a substance to it. That takes me to point number 4. If you don't have a website, it's going to be very difficult for you to grow your business, because the website not only helps you with traditional marketing, even if you are doing door knocking, you're handing them out a business card with your website. And more often than not, people are going to go and check your profile and read your reviews and see your website just to see your reel. It becomes a very important part if you're actively marketing. So not only you're doing the billboards and bus ads and doing the door knocking, the door hangers, but you're also combining them with content, and you're also combining it with digital. Where do you think all this traffic is going to go? Yeah, you can try sending it to your Facebook page, but I can promise you the conversion is not going to be there. all of this comes to your website. And no, your website is not a place to show your listing. Nobody cares about your listing. People go to Zillow and realtor.ca and House Sigma and a bunch of these other websites. We have proven metrics from different client sites that listings is the least important part of your website. A lot of people are just there to see if you're legitimate, to see if you have good reviews. Sometimes they just want to see your business address or your phone numbers. These are some of the things that they're important to your clients. I know there's a big push for AI right now, and trust me, I am all up for AI. We use it all the time. But I think creating a content, which some of the realtors I see starting doing, if your original content with your own personality and quirks and facial features and hand gestures is not doing that well, I doubt that the AI is going to make big of a difference. And I know at some point AI is going to level the playing field, but that means the type of content that you can create, your competitors and the guy next door can create the same content with a command. So where the distinction is, I think distinction is still in the brand, is still in the story, it's still in what you are good at and your own unique personality. So yes, AI is good. I don't think it's there yet when it comes to content, but even if it's there, it's going to be available to everybody. Create your own brand, and we'll think about the AI in the future. The last part that I want to talk to is marketing. And honestly, I am a big fan of all types of different marketing, whether you're doing traditional or you're doing digital. In my opinion, all types of marketing work. I think I've spoken to enough clients, they come to me and they're like, well, Google Ads doesn't work for me. And there are very rare instances where the way this client's market is set up or the way he's been doing business for the past 10 or 15 years that the ads might not work for him, but it's very, very rare. It's, I'd say probably 2% of my audience out of 400 sales calls that I've done. Yes. So in majority of the cases, if your marketing is not working, that has to do with you or your strategy or the team you're working with or the budget you have too. I mean, you cannot be in a city like Toronto and spend $400 or even $1,000 on SEO and expect results. It's not going to happen. Or it will happen, it will just take very long time because you have teams with $20,000 per month budget. So how do you compete with that? The only way to compete with that is to have a good team that has a good strategy. And the issue is it's very hard to find good teams. Most of the good teams, they already have contracts in your city with some of the other bigger real estate brokerage. I think that's also one of the points that maybe we should discuss in this thing is the number one question you should ask your team that you're working with for marketing is how many other people in your area or in your city they're working with, because everything to do with real estate marketing is direct conflict of interest. It's like if somebody is advertising houses for sale for you, but then they're doing it for 5 other people, your money is competing against yourself. So if you're working with a marketing team and they have 5 other clients in your city, I don't recommend doing that. And also it's very hard to find good teams with good strategy because they require big budgets. I spoke to a Google Ads team for a client of mine, and these guys have minimum ad spend of $10,000 per month. That's just the ad spend, and then on top of that is their fees. And I know it's very difficult for some of the even good brokers to come up with that kind of advertising budget. But in marketing, if you're spending money, the basic formula is 1 to 3. You spend $1, you get $3 back. And this is something that when I mentioned earlier on that video that a lot of realtors say that they're really good at numbers, but when I talk to them about, okay, how much money did you spend last year on marketing? What was your ROI? Where was your best ROI? And they just go blank. It's strange that real estate brokers are so good at numbers on one side, but they're not good at numbers on the other side. And I understand they're busy and they have a lot of other things to do, but they just hand out something to a marketing team that they don't even know if it's a good marketing team or not because they don't really have any reference points. There's a lot of things that you can do yourself in an hour or 2 hours per month that will guarantee you the best ROI. But it's just easier to just autopilot it and give it to somebody. And if it doesn't work, you just cancel and just say, this doesn't work. Everything works. I have clients that they're generating so much business from fridge magnets, and we track it. And I have clients that they have spent thousands of dollars on Google Ads, and they're like, well, now Google Ads doesn't work. No, it works. I think it just doesn't work because your team didn't experiment, or you're not experimenting a lot. So this video has gone too long. Just wanted to give out some of my thoughts about some of the things that I deal with on the daily basis. I'm not sure if you agree with these things or you don't agree with some of these things. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments down below. If you need any kind of help with branding or you want to talk about the strategy, I will link my website down below. You can book a meeting free of charge, no obligation to do business. We just sit down and have a conversation and see if it's something that we can help you with to grow your business. Other than that, have a great day, night, weekend. It's weekend here, Sunday. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.